Hello everybody! So here is Linda Lear again, and I'm here to talk to you about INFPs. So, where do we start talking about this type? As always, we're going to talk about a stereotype to break, and then we're going to go into the functions, and we're going to see how the type works. Let's start with the disrupting myths. Let's destroy a stereotype. So there is this rumor, this voice out there, probably thrown out by INTJs, that says that INFPs are sweet, that INFPs are good people, that INFPs only do the good, that INFPs are saints, that INFPs are these holy things with a halo on their head, and that they are good people, that they have a big heart, that they only think of others. That's bullshit. These are all lies. It's not true. That's not what an INFP is. That's the facade, what an INFP wants you to believe they are. That's only a lie. That's a lie. It's not true. Some people are going to answer, well, INFPs are not judgmental and they're good people. That's bullshit. How does the J and the P work? It works that J types need closure. Needing closure means that a J type is going to need to talk in depth to people, to come to an understanding with people, to figure out the true reasons of a person, to know what exactly is going on from both points of view, because the person needs to come to an understanding, to close the thing with absolute certainty. So actually J types tend to be less judgmental. They're not judgmental. Whereas P types do not need them, so do not need closure. So it doesn't mean that all P types are judgmental. It only means that some P types can be judgmental. So for example, INFPs are one of those P types that is judgmental. And that's because of their introvert feeling dominant. And here we start going into functions, but we're still disrupting our stereotype. INFP is that kind of person that walks up to you and tells you, oh, I love that video, that movie. Did you watch it? And you're going to be like, well, I'm not into that kind of genre, so I didn't watch the movie, and I'm not really inclined to doing it because that's not my genre. Like I said, I prefer other kinds of movies. An INFP does not have the backbone to tell you, no, you have to watch it because it's actually full of important things that are right and that are about justice and about this and about that. That's not what they're going to do. They are going to subtly try to manipulate to actually guilt trip you into watching it. And what they're going to do is tell you stuff like, oh, well, that's a movie about justice, so if you're not into that kind of genre, then you're probably not into justice. I can understand that. I mean, not everybody's into justice. So that you can feel bad about yourself and you are actually pushed to watch that movie and follow that kind of standard of justice or whatever the case may be that they believe is right. If you do not watch it and you actually decline the invitation again and you tell them to fuck off and screw themselves because that's bullshit, what they're going to do is start whining like crazy, try to make you feel bad for treating them badly, try to feel guilty about something. So that's what they do. They guilt trip you into things. So they're not these sweet souls, these not so judgmental people. Actually, if you're not going to submit to their ways, they're actually going to label you rude, unfair, a bad person, and so on. And that's what they're going to spread as an information among people, because that's how they work. FI is backed up by extroverted thinking, and extroverted thinking is spreading rumors about people. So telling everybody what they believe is right and what they believe and think about you and making it a standard opinion. That's an INFP. That's what INFPs do and what INFPs are about. That's introverted feelings. So they use these deep feelings to manipulate you, and they do not have a big heart at all. They're actually only concerned about their position in the world, their place in the world, how people treat them, and they're going to be that kind of person that is going to be only concerned about how unfairly others treat them. That's an INFP. They're normally very butthurt people that take everything personally. You're always treating them badly, because if you're not treating them exactly the way they consider it right and fair, then you're going to be a bad person. They're going to whine, cry, and manipulate you. That's what an INFP is. How do you counter this? How do you survive this kind of passive-aggressive bullshit? The only thing you can do is just ignore them. Just ignore them. Unless you're an INFJ or an ISFJ and you have the tools to actually walk up against them and just tell them how full of shit they are, just simply ignore them. That's what I try to do, for example, in front of my boyfriend, to show him the best way to go with this kind of people. The best way to go with this kind of people is just blank them. One thing that I find extreme fun is to not answer them. I do not block them. I just don't answer. I answer the person before, the person after, everybody else in the room, and I act as if they were not in the room at all. Because they hate being ignored. They are self-centered. They have to be in the spotlight. They have to be the center of the attention. That's what they need. And therefore, the moment that they're being ignored, they are going to start becoming kind of aggressive against you because you're not listening to their judgment. So what they're going to do is start telling you that you're rude, that you cannot blank people like that you have to talk to them because they are people and they deserve being looked at, and so on. What I do at that point is, online, I normally either block them, telling them, oh, well, I'm being rude, I'm sorry, and I block them so I can talk with everybody else without seeing them. They normally start bugging me for months through people to get my attention. I don't answer to the people talking to me about that either. So the best way to go is simply ignore them. Act as if they did not exist. The way I perceive them personally and what makes me act this way towards them, the only thing that I can call similar to an INFP's Interfeeling is when I'm running and there's flies in front of my face. I just do this and then they're gone. And if they come back, they just do that again. Or if you have a fly killer thingy, just kill the fly and that's it. That's how I perceive them. They're just an annoyance, a nuisance, and nothing more. What else can I say about this thing? I know that other FI types are going to jump in my comment section and go like, oh, you're being judgmental yourself because of this and this and this, and the majority of people say this and this and that. That's probably ISFPs or ENFPs or whoever feels like being the hero, the white knight of this stupids. Anyway, INFPs normally agree with everything others say about them. So what an INFP is going to do if they know they are an INFP is agree with everything I just said and ask me how they can get out of it and how they can actually start aligning with their values and become more others oriented and open up to others. You're doomed not to. I'm sorry, guys. That's my answer. You're doomed to be a self-righteous prick. That's what you are. You were born a self-righteous prick. You want to grow, accept yourself, and just go with people that actually accept you. That's the way you grow. It's not by aligning with a fake ideal that you do not mirror that you're actually going to grow. That's not the way it works. The way it works, the way to actually become equanimous, because that's what you're looking for, is to start with accepting yourself. And if you want to accept yourself, you have to accept yourself as the self-righteous bastard that you are. That's how it works. Anyway, moving on. Second function, extraverted intuition, the intuition of potential. This means that being a people-oriented type, so to speak, a people-oriented type, they revolve their extraverted intuition and their ability to figure out the potential of people towards themselves. That's what INFPs do with their ability to understand and figure out the potential of people. So once they've turned their introverted intuition towards themselves, what they're going to do with it is try to make you believe that they actually mirror that standard, that ideal of perfection that they've pictured in their mind, because they think and they believe that they have the potential to actually be that thing. So what they're trying to do, what they're going to try to do is persuade you that they're actually already that thing when they actually are not. So that's an INFP. That's what they are. This is their strongest functions and how they use them. What else can I say about them? Two other things. One we already hinted about, and it's inferior extroverted thinking. Inferior extroverted thinking basically means looking for the opinion of the majority. They want to know what the majority thinks because they want to be sheep and follow what the majority thinks and believes. That's what INFPs do. This is another myth to disrupt. There is this rumor, this wrong rumor, that INFJs would be the type that says if more people say it, it must be true. No, that's an INFP. INFJ is actually the kind of person that is going to tell you, if more than one people says it, then I'm going to doubt it. It's probably not true. That's how an INFJ works. Whereas the INFP is going to be the kind of person that tells you, if more than one person says it, then it must be true. That's how INFPs work with inferior extrovert thinking. And they're actually looking for ESTJs so that they can know what the majority thinks is the way to go, the way to do things, so that they can use that way to do things through the ESTJ to impose their ideal of how things should be done. It's a little retorted, but that's how they think. Tertiary. I usually, in my mind, I call it middle. Anyway, tertiary introverted sensing. Tertiary introverted sensing means that these people have difficulties taking care of themselves, and not as many difficulties as an ENFP. Sorry, ESFPs are perfectly capable of taking care of themselves. ENFPs do not. So the ENFP is probably the type that is the least able to take care of themselves, whereas the INFP somehow tries, but they try the wrong way. So they're going to have to wait for their ESTJ to tell them what the way to go about that also is, so that they can align to that. Normally, what they do is follow these alternative medicine things because the majority thinks, or a lot of people around them thinks, or they think that that's the best way, and so on. They do not. They fail at taking into account in which cases it works. For example, if you have been treated by your parents with chemical medicines up until the age in which you can decide yourself what kind of medicine you take, alternative methods are probably not going to work, They have a lower possibility to actually work on you. Whereas if you have always been treated with non-chemical things, with remedies or so on, then that's when these therapies are going to work with you, because your body does not require the chemical help, and it's actually trained to react to these softer remedies. But anyway, they do not work for everything, whereas INFPs would want them to. So anyway, this is their weak interior sensing. Now, I'm not a boss of interior sensing myself. I'm not going to claim that. But anyway, that's how INFP's interior sensing works. What else can I say about INFPs? I would try to go maybe into what enneagram type they can be, and I would go for enneagram 4 for the things we said, like the need to become equanimous and so on. That's what gets along with plus we know that they are the tragic romantic type, the enneagram 4. So this passive aggressive melodramatic behavior is a very enneagram 4 trait. Personally, I would also say probably an enneagram 9. That's more an ESTJ thing or ESFJ thing. I don't know, but maybe enneagram 9 also works. Enneagram 1, the most perfectionistic, self-righteous enneagram that there is. That's another possibility. With whom do they get along? Not even with themselves. So they lack the ability to get along with people. They are too butthurt, too self-centered, too self-oriented. The only people with whom they get along is people that like self-centered, self-absorbed, and self-righteous people. That's with whom they get along. That would be normally ESTJs if they are not proud and they can actually listen to the INFP. Sometimes ENTJs, even ENFPs I've seen becoming a little bit, getting a little bit of nausea of the INFP's self-righteousness and self-absorption. Anyway, yeah, they're that. That's what an INFP is. And yeah, so sometimes I get them on my channel and they start writing bullshit about how I shouldn't say this and I shouldn't say that, and I should behave this way and I should behave that way, and that's freaking hilarious to see. Anyway, yeah, because it's bullshit. It's bullshit. There is no single way to do that things. Not the way they mean anyway. Well, there is a best way for everyone, but there is no single way for everybody. So that's how things are. So I think I will close this here, and I will talk to you later. Bye.